I'm fucking pumped.
I'm pumped. I'm pumped. Getting up. Pumped up.
All right, pump up the jam. Pump it up.
Yeah. Pump up the... Turn down for what? I'll tell you what I don't turn down for. That's Survivor.
You never turn down Survivor unless it's too loud. All right, so...
All right.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Alec, to Survivor All-Stars.
Yes, indeedy.
We are come down to the best of the best of all time.
We're in the thick of it. Yeah, no, this is gonna be great. I'm much looking forward to how this continues to shake out.
I mean, you got
Kathy's out though.
Well, we're down to the seven objectively best Survivor players to ever play the game. You know, we got Rob, Amber, Jenna, Lewis, Rupert, Alicia, Tom, and Sheehan.
So I'm looking here. Do we have any that made it into the jury? Tom did,
for sure.
Tom did.
Jenna did, I think. Yeah,
Jenna did too, I guess.
Amber did.
Did. Yeah.
They all did, except for Sheehan. They all did.
Sheehan. Rob didn't.
Oh, that's true.
No, Rob was not. Rob was not in.
But
did Alicia? I didn't remember Alicia at all.
She did, so I think. But
yeah, I just.
Yeah.
Again, not what I would consider an all-star, but.
We got all your all-stars. Amber.
We get all your favorites. We've got.
You remember Amber from her first season.
You remember Amber very well from Survivor.
She was best known as Jerry's friend in the Australian outback. That's what she was known for.
Yeah, that was epic.
And she just silently got blindsided when Jerry got voted out in Australia, and then she just went right after her was voted out.
Yeah, that's what happened. Yeah. So. All right.
Jenna Lewis, a clear all-star. Love her. All right.
Well, regardless, we've got so Kathy was out at the last tribal council. So there's a lot of different ways it can go, but it's definitely looking really
everything's coming up Rob.
Everything's coming up Rob. Rob's kind of got this on lock. Him and his core group with Amber, Jenna, and Rupert. So it remains to be seen. Can Alicia, Tom, and Sheehan? Tom thinks that he's in the group as well. He's been kind of allied himself with Rob, but Rob kind of through Lex, I guess, sort of let slip or something that Tom was gonna switch. Should Lex during the merge? Should Lex have gone much further?
Not that he would, but that he might. I mean, I guess that it was out there that he some sort of alliance.
We haven't really heard much on Tom on that subject, but Tom did say during the last episode he's like he doesn't buy that he's on for top 3. So I don't know. It remains to be seen.
But I mean, the power structure right now is the 2 pairs, and there's 7 people. That's 4 people. So for something to happen, the 3 need to band together along with one of the pair. They really need to do a lot. They need to start playing pronto. Hustle. Yeah,
well, I mean, if they want to get rid of Rob, they're gonna have to. I mean, the trio of on the outs is really gonna have to go after Rob and Amber. They're gonna have to get Jen and Rupert on their side, which I could see potentially happening, but
again, it's not always. It seems so clear to us because we're watching it from the outside.
It's true,
but when you're in there, it's like Tom thinks he's probably Rob's number 1 buddy. Right there, and Alicia thinks they have a solid alliance. Everyone thinks Rob is with them.
Except for Sheehan knows that she's just kind of playing under the radar right now. So
well, she's just the last one left of her tribe now. So
yeah,
it's a foregone conclusion she's in the bottom. But all right, so the power rankings from last episode were Rob, Amber, Jenna, Rupert, Alicia, Tom, Sheehan. So we'll see if that's true. Sheehan will go next. So we'll see how it shakes
I don't know. Have to see how it shakes out here.
All right. So if you want to see the highlights of our reaction, you can click the link in the description, and you can come back and further discussion. And we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
Okay.
Here you have it. Episode 13, Survivor All-Stars. Alicia voted out. Look, the power rankings had Sheehan at the bottom. She got immunity.
Yep.
You did have Tom below Alicia, but
I did, but
everybody
that
was
based on that
firmly.
portrayal.
This episode showed firmly Alicia was at the bottom of that, but.
So with that, I was taking into consideration the Tom and Rob being like, Tom's against me, but I had totally forgotten about something that Rob referenced.
He just wants
way earlier.
It's so petty.
Which is the fact that, it was very petty, but hey,
I mean, she was getting on everybody's
Rob
nerves.
Never forgets.
So I mean, that's you can just get everybody to rally on that.
And honestly, there was a lot of really good content in this episode of like showing kind of how cocky she was. Like,
this was the
in a way
piling on Alicia episode, because from the very beginning you had the questionnaire reward challenge where everybody answered questions, and then you get like all this Alicia hate. It was like, who's the least deserving all-star? Alicia. There was another question about Alicia too, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Not a good thing.
But it's like, okay, well, you got all that pile like that, and she was the third to when Rupert was deciding who to give everything to. I mean, granted, he chose her third, I think. So no, he chose her second. Rupert was my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, who did I leave out of that?
I didn't write the order.
Oh, Jenna. When Rob, then Jenna. When Rob, Jenna, Amber, then Alicia, Tom.
She was fourth.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I guess not.
Because I guess we never really talked about this. I didn't remember it exactly. Alicia thinks there was the four, and I completely forgot about the fact that Rupert and Jenna were originally on Saboga, when they had 3 tribes, and then they merged.
Yeah.
And that's when they came together. So Alicia, Tom, Rob, and Amber were together before then. So they were thinking that's the true alliance for them.
Yeah.
But so I guess that's why they didn't make a move. That it actually makes a lot of sense now, because like you have Tom and Alicia make that conversation, and that wouldn't make sense if they didn't.
Rupert. Yeah.
But they think they would be in the Final Four with them, so I think they're just thinking we need to make a move on him before then, not like before it gets to the Final Four, or they're not thinking that those two are two pairs that are closest, you know.
But Tom voted for Alicia too, I think.
Yeah. So
Tom knows what's up.
Yeah. So I don't know what he's thinking then. Maybe he wasn't being sincere at all with wanting to make a move against him.
The thing that's the most wild to me is like after that whole like least deserving to be here, like after that, I would have been like my fueled my fire. Be like, hey, all these people don't think I deserve to be here. Then screw them. I'm gonna try to make some moves and actually do something. But she, I guess there is something to be said about she thought she was in that group before. But it's like, I would not rest on my laurels there. When Sheehan, who has immunity, is coming and making deals, it seems completely foolish to absolutely not. Everyone else that we saw was at least hearing her out. She was just like, no, we're not going to talk about anything.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay.
And then she was mad at the end because she shook on it with Rob. They were going to be an alliance, Alicia.
But Rob. even though she said that, but I don't trust him. She even said it in a commercial. I was like, well, I don't really trust that.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess she kind of did.
Yeah, it's not she was in a rough spot here. I mean, they didn't make moves early enough to where they didn't. She wasn't aware because she seemed to be pretty convinced that 4 was something.
Yeah,
that's why they were like she wanted to get Rupert out next. But what else? So yeah, Rupert won that reward and he got to decide the order of the food. That was an interesting thing. Like it's a literal pecking order of food choices.
Yeah,
like the best dish up down to a bowl of rice.
Yeah, that was an odd reward because that's like, is that a reward?
So everybody gets food. Yeah, there's strategy.
Yeah,
so I like strategy being mixed in, so it makes it less boring. Where it's not just like everybody's getting nice things. So you have to make a decision.
I guess that's true.
Just like why it's always interesting. Who do you bring on reward challenges when he asks you to bring somebody? Things like that. There's at least some strategy there.
Yeah, that to me can be more interesting because we've seen that completely work in other people against people,
But this is
last season it worked.
Yeah, And this is like a pecking order. But I mean, we've seen the impact of a pecking order in the past. With the challenge which they did to win that was essentially a pecking order kind of challenge, where you can chop the rope. It's one we've talked about a lot in the past, but that one, they seemed to be like loosey goosey casual with it, so that it wouldn't. So they didn't all just pile on Xi'an. They were just kind of going all over. Oh, I'm gonna get you. You chopped me. You know?
They look like they're because a lot of the questions were all about themselves. I think that it wasn't like a trivia. It wasn't like a kind of thing, which is what most of those usually are. Like, who knows this fact about the pirates or anything like that. It was kind of like we had a poll with all of you beforehand.
Scientific polling
beforehand, and so you're voting for what you think you all voted for. Everyone voted for, and so there it was all kind of about them. So they had I guess they had more opportunity to be kind of a little bit more jokey and fun with it.
They could play it off better, where it's not like, oh, this is a clear pecking order because of that challenge.
Yeah.
But then they made Rupert pick, so that was making a pecking order there.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's
he essentially picked, except for Jenna, because that's his ally. He essentially picked my power rankings order.
Yeah.
Which is pretty funny.
And she was, well, so Rob mentioned that he pretty much picked their 4-person alliance first. So it's like he's putting it out there, but also showing that maybe he does trust our alliance, and he's sticking to our alliance. So it can work both ways. They can show other people the pecking order. It can also show, oh, I'm true to you guys. But
and it's interesting because
you don't really need to hide it if they are true to that 4, because there were 7 people left at this point.
But the thing is too, also that because Rupert showed something that may have also gone into, I think, Rob's consideration in terms of who they decided to vote off, was also potentially Rupert showing in that pecking order, hey, I respect you, I picked you first. Even Rob's like, it's like, oh, he's kind of showing pecking order, but that shows that he really trusts me. So like that might have been an additional proof that, hey, I trust you, to make him be like, all right, so instead of going after Rupert, instead of sticking with Alicia and Tom, I am going to stick completely with that. Because, again, he had the 2 pairs, like we've been talking about. He had 2 pairs thinking that there's aligned with him. He decides to go with, I think, probably the safer option for him.
So it could have had an impact on him, like showing that he was true. Rupert seemed to be true to the alliance. He was like, okay, I'll go with that one. And he also had this previous argument with Alicia, and she's a pain. So it's like, all right.
Yeah.
Everybody voted that Rob, they would trust him with their life. So trust this man.
And Xi'an seemed to know what was up too, because she voted also with Alicia.
So there's the name of this episode is Stupid People, because Xi'an has that little confessional where she's sitting
stupid people,
talking about how stupid everyone is, because everyone was just staying together in their group, and no one wanted to make deals with her before she wanted immunity, because it was a foregone conclusion she's done. But people aren't making the moves they should be making, or they're not being proactive enough, because
you gotta have a backup plan. I mean, not even Rob had one, it seemed like not really. I mean, he's setting fairly pretty where he is, but I mean, I don't know, he was up front with her. It was like, yeah, you're going home.
He's like, whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna stick to what we have going.
Yeah.
But everyone is upfront about it. So I mean, that makes being maneuvering the gameplay is not as fluid when everybody has that mentality, because then it's like, oh, well, I can't really do anything. I have to also have that mentality and stick with my group, because I can't be the one person actually hearing her out, because then it's like I'm standing out. So except everyone heard her out except for Alicia. It was like, nah.
Yeah,
but clearly Jenna had no interest.
Jenna as well. Yeah.
She was really bothered by
it's been this episode was super catty. It felt very catty. Like no, honestly, like the people really actually complaining about Xi'an were all other women.
And Alicia was
like,
complaining.
Are you intimidated by her stronger personality or something? Like it was just very. Amber just doesn't. She doesn't really say anything.
Amber
usually.
was nice. She said, "Let her have her moment."
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it is.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So yeah, Amber was nice about it, but it was just very catty.
Like really.
I don't know. It was
like really, if you're in Alicia's position, you're like part of the alliance, so you should like. If you were she assumed she was not going to be voted out. I mean, she thought she was in the alliance. So at that point, it's like you're really going to complain about Xi'an just celebrating this one time, like because you can just go back to business as usual next vote.
Yeah.
So really, like, just let her have her moment.
Be
like, don't get too cocky. You like, you won a challenge and celebrated about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because everybody openly said that they're going to vote her out, and then you're going to complain when she celebrates for winning immunity.
Yeah. It's like it was so frustrating. I was like, no, I love the fact that she won and was able to rub it in everyone's face. That's absolutely deserved.
Bye, Alicia.
Bye, Alicia. It's by Alicia, but whatever.
I know.
Bye, Alicia.
Good riddance. Good riddance. She did the least deserving All-Star. I can agree with that.
Apparently, according to everyone. So, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, power rankings. Where are we at?
Okay, Rob's still up top. Sitting pretty. Rob and Amber are still up top. It's interesting. I loved the innuendo. Maybe it could be rumblings of things coming forward.
We didn't talk about those. So many sound effects at play.
There's a lot of innuendo about Amber potentially voting out Rob because she was making when Xi'an and her talked. Xi'an was like, "Well, it's got Rob and Rupert are really strong. What do you think about Rob?" And then she intimated that like maybe she would be willing to vote him out, which would be very interesting. I think if that twist happened, I think that would be very fun.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's going to shake out. We'll have to see further on. But
you don't believe in the love?
Amber, I don't. I mean, like I believe in the love, but that doesn't mean that I don't believe that love can be used for the game.
Really? Not true love then.
I mean, there's elements of it. Anyway, so it's definitely Rob Amber. I'm gonna go Rupert Jenna. This is like it's still in kind of in the pairs though. That's the thing.
Yeah, we love pairs. Great pairs.
Rupert Jenna, because it seemed to me, even though Jenna was like, Rupert really needs to be coached on how to play the game. Okay, but it's like Rupert. I think this season has shown a lot more the strategic side of Rupert. While he is the big friendly teddy bear, we even saw earlier on when it was part of Saboga, he was really trying to like be he was kind of the Rob of that team, I want to say, like to a degree. He wasn't nearly as like wheeling and dealing, but he did kind of have an assumption of sort of control over the game in terms of how it was going on the tribe. We
got robbed of the Ruru alliance from the beginning, Rudy and Rupert.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But
Rupert, Jenna.
Rupert and Jenna. And then, Tom and Xi'an.
Yeah, so it's really just a minor...
Yeah,
I mean, we stuck to the status quo here. It's like... Yeah. It couldn't be a Xi'an, so we're going to pick out the bottom of the power rankings there.
Yeah.
So, will somebody do something?
And Tom and
Alicia were talking about it. Tom keeps talking about the people before they get voted out. He's like, "Yeah, I don't want to be the guy that doesn't make a move." And then Kathy gets voted out. Alicia gets voted out. Stop talking. Oh, you're all talk, Tom.
Come on, Tom. Do something, Tom. Big Tom. Come on, man.
Big Tom.
All right.
Large Tom.
All right.
All right.
Old Tom. Real old Tom.
We're in the final.
Dead Tom.
We're in the final 6 here. All right. Getting down to it. All right. So see you next week for another episode 14.
Yeah. Do it up. We'll be here. We're really getting towards really in the end game, and it's very exciting. What video do you think would you recommend viewers of this go check out?
I don't
see more
know.
Survivor stuff.
Oh, I don't know. Where's another Survivor episode where someone gets called the least deserving All-Star and then gets voted out? With something similar
least
to that.
deserving, or
someone gets shat on and then gets voted out. I need to think of that.
Someone gets dunked on.
Get absolutely dunked on.
Well, there was a Pearl Islands where Sean voted out. Who is it? He ended up aligning himself with Johnny Fairplay there. Oh, it was where he voted out who came back later.
Burton. Where they voted out Burton.
Yeah.
Burton also got dunked on in the episode where he got voted out again.
Yeah. Burton's just the dunked on king.
Well, it's almost like they dunked on themselves, like both him and Johnny Fairplay, all that episode, because they were talking about their intellectual advantage and how the girls aren't going to make anything happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, go watch.
That episode, that's a good episode. That's a really good episode.
Go watch that episode, the intellectual advantage episode, Pearl Islands. God bless.
Yeah, epic. That was a great episode.
All right, so thank you for watching. Yeah. Subscribe to the channel, subscribe to our podcast feed, like the video, leave a comment, hit the notification bell, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter at Tarqaron TWO.
Hey, baby.
All right.